All right, you're welcome to our Tuesday edition of Nigeria Market. And in fact, the last edition for the month. Nigeria Market is an advocacy program of AID, and all know that AID is an ambassador initiative for development and empowerment. This is a darling online television that has been talking more on economy, on how we can be able to revive our economy and get back to good. We want to welcome everyone who is joining us this morning to our last edition of the month. And with me in the studio is my co-host, Mr. Samuel Chimene Paul.
You almost forgot, don't worry. This is Chimene Samuel Paul. So welcome our viewers to Nigeria Market.
And I remain your host, Sleta Udam. And today we want to go direct to our topic. Our focus will be on the effect of insecurity on food security. And you know that this station and this program has been hammering on how we can be sufficient, self-sufficient. And you know, the mantra is that we should eat what we grow and grow what we eat. And that is how we can be able to develop our base economically. So we want to look at the insecurity issue that is affecting the country and how it's also affected food security in the land. And we'll look around how, for the past 1 month, we've been talking more on the insecurity matter. And we don't need it's on the radio, it's on the news, everywhere, how bandits, Boko Haram, kidnappers had actually ravaged our nation. And this has actually resulted to the shortage of food, and that food increase has come as a result of all these measures. And so we want to see how we can be able to x-ray and continue to bring out solutions and discussions that can be able to help government and see how we can put solution to the problem that is affecting the food issue. So, but the government will always give us statistics, and remember like yesterday, the Bureau for National Bureau for Statistics is telling us the inflation rate has increased, is improving, and government is actually happy. They say they want to see how they can maintain that tempo. But I want to ask before we start this topic this morning, government always tell us there's development, there's amount of development in the country. I want to put this ironically to us as we're going to discuss this matter. If government is actually telling us there's development, and they call it a seed of development, and I want to liken it a seed of development that is actually going to be planted on a fertile ground of insecurity. What is going to be the outcome of it when insecurity is the order of the day, and we're talking about development? How does that go? I think that will go in pari passu with our topic this morning as regards to food inflation and the cost of food in the market.
All right. Once again, let's welcome our viewers again, and I hope that those of us who are listening, will also join us, because we keep saying on this program, this is a matter of destiny. I love Dr. Paul Enenche when he talks about this. When it comes to issues like this, he said, when issues of destiny are discussed, especially your destiny, you don't keep short, you don't keep quiet. You must respond to it, because a closed mouth is a closed destiny. These things are happening, and Nigerians, who are good at murmuring. God hates murmur. Those who murmurs, because if you murmur, it means you are an enemy of God. So biblically, all around, murmuring is not good. So Nigerians need to speak up so that we can better our society. This is the only nation, is the only country we have, and that is Nigeria. Now, seed of development, like you said, now sown on the fertile ground of insecurity is how do you call it in English again? Oxymoron or something? Yes, where ironically, yes. Look at it. Even Bible told us, you don't take a fresh wine and pour it in an old wine in old bottle. What will happen? It will burst. You also don't take a new cloth, and add or patch it with an old one. definitely the new one, the strength of the new one will talk. Yes, so that's how to just summarize issues like this. Now it is very easy. I checked some of these data, because we need to confirm. We've said here, government is us, the citizens. It is me, it is you. I said here that those who are in government today were not in government in 2012 to 2015. They were not in government. And they clamored and shouted, Nigerians hearkened. Today they are in government. Those who are now not in government are the ones shouting. So it is still the citizens that are the government. So that's why we need all to speak up, on this matter.
Of course, before you continue, speaking of, I thank God we will have opportunity to be able to tell the nations that people are speaking up. Last week we saw someone came out who said he served this government. And he's speaking up, he has pins and he's talking. Now, even imams in the church,
those are actions. Now,
they are speaking up. So I want to encourage Nigerians.
Okay, let people just keep speaking. Fine, that's fine. Okay, now
we can actually take care of this insecurity, because if you say you're talking about development, we must keep development a little bit and look at insecurity first. Because if we don't remove that hood of insecurity, no matter how much development you might pour in, because that's what government is telling us, they're building rail tracks, there's development, massive infrastructure and all that. But when people are not alive to
how much is in the history of Nigeria today, corn, I've never seen that, since I was born or since I became an adult. Corn is the commonest food now that in this season. You're happy, you can just go 2 for 100 naira or 3 most 300 naira. But today, corn is 1 for 100 naira. Then, so how many people? So it means that even the corn now has become a luxury. Everything has become luxury in Nigeria. Well, and then you check the government data page or site, and then we hear that a bag of rice, 50 kg, is between 14,000 to 17,000. I think that person has lost touch.
He's even friendly. I don't think he's.
He has lost touch with the reality of what is happening here. Yes, because I saw that this morning. I was trying to just go through, Now, we said effect of insecurity on food security, and every nation is clamoring for food security. How can the people be self-sufficient, which is a mantra here? Let's produce what we eat and eat what we produce. But in this case now, the bandits that have taken over, like we're saying, I think is not more like rumor. If the governor of Katsina State have come up to say, let the people defend themselves, bandits have taken over, almost 12 or 11 or 12 communities. Not that they just came to raid and go. Resident. All right. We have now heard, where bandits collect tax.
How to sell.
That's the circle.
So the food price will increase. indefinitely. So that is the issue of this insecurity issue that we're looking at. But you see, we must continue to talk. And as this platform has always, say we must we must eat what we produce and produce what we eat. Then therefore government must give attention to this
issue of insecurity
in Nigeria. And it has become so much that everybody is speaking, and we must continue to. And that's why we're joining others who are speaking to see what government can do, even though government is saying it's doing its best. But its best is not good enough at this point in time. They must put all strategies to see that we can eliminate this insecurity. And the fact is that, my brother, we know the problem. Why government is not taking that willpower to actually nip the bud. The solutions are all out there. The solutions are there. People are mentioning where the solutions are. What's the problem that government cannot actually go direct and hit the. Someone says you're buying super tornado jets to fight a bandit. Someone says that's not the solution. If you're buying those military hardwares to fight,
and then we can't use them because the government rules or the game of this war is that because the bandits are now in the community,
of course.
So if you are now going to use Tucano jets, to fight, how many civilians are you going to kill?
Okay,
and so the rule is that you don't kill civilians.
Of course.
If it was when probably then they said Sambisa forest.
Mm-hmm.
But now the people have moved in. All they have just done is take control of the community. So when they are moving, if you are up there in the air, you don't know that the person who is moving is a bandit. It's a bandit.
So that's
the danger.
Tell us that there's going to be collateral
damage. Yes, because you'll be hitting the citizens, the harmless citizens. But, and again, sorry, Mr. Slade, I also was asking myself, like every other Nigerian, I've also asked the governor of Katsina and so many other governors. I think Benue State have also said that earlier. Citizens should rise, to defend themselves. The question I asked is with what? Bare hands. Against man that is carrying AK-47 or AK-47.
That has reminded
that's
the governor of Benue State that he has been shouting actually, but then it's helpless. You said, how do you defend them? When others are coming with
against somebody with a gun.
It doesn't make any sense.
So it is the responsibility of government. Government have to step up the game.
They don't have any option than to actually go into this den and tackle this so-called bandits. And we have also prayed that these bandits should not be tagged bandits. They should be called terrorists, so that the army, the military will come out full force that they are fighting a war with a particular set of persons. When you brand them bandits, you're friendly with them. And that's why they're taking advantage of our security facilities. Well, we are talking about insecurity and how it's affecting food security in Nigeria. Today, you go to the market, you know that you make a budget of 5,000 naira to buy food item, but you end up buying maybe 2 out of 10 items you have list in your budget. And that's very terrible, because we must continue to hammer on it before the years run out. And we know the PIA Act is on. As a result of that, we are anticipating that there's definitely going to be an increase in fuel price, and that is another
electricity first.
Okay, electricity yesterday
has been increased. The tariff has been increased.
When you look at the indices,
the SMEs, I don't know
where indices that is actually moving around the economy right now. A common man would be finding it difficult to even use a 10,000 naira. Let me say 10,000 naira. If at all he can ever afford it to be able to feed his family for a meal. So we are it's quite painful. We must continue to say, because if we don't do this program then will not go too far. So we must continue to see how we can, help Nigerians, help the government, talk to government, so that government can put more effort on this issue of insecurity, so that our food issues can be surplus in the market.
And we are approaching the festive period.
Of course,
and what's happened, even without the insecurity, right from the time immemorial, like people will say, once it's coming to Ember Month, as if there is something too strange, that comes, transport drivers are running as if they don't have any control again, and inflation automatically takes up, in everything. This was when the economy was good. This was when we had no issue of insecurity. Now we're entering, tomorrow is 1st of September, all right? And then you begin to wonder what will happen if government begin to increase tariffs. Small businesses, this we have talked about the insecurity, which is affecting farmers. These farmers also include the small business because those in the line of processing, or the agro processing and then the value chain and all that, they're all affected. Which are when this was not there. Now, government has announced increment in the electricity tariff. These are the things that are coming at the wrong time. There's something you say, this is a good program, but it's coming at the wrong time. So is the timing right for this increment? We shouted here on this platform during the lockdown, of 2020, the COVID era, the critical COVID era, where citizens were locked in. Government attempted increment on electricity tariff, increment on fuel, and they were asking, you want these people to stay at home, you are not giving them palliatives. Other nations are reducing. Ghana even went as far as asking landlords, to not to take the rent for, I think, like period of 3 months. Yes. Yeah. Then they ask the electricity companies, not to take. Telecom, every service providers in Ghana were guided. The opposite in Nigeria was the period the government was increasing those things, and that's why today, if we ask an average Nigerian about COVID, then they made just that COVID was this disease that killed people in Europe, but in Nigeria it was a business that collects money because government was not sensitive to the period. They were not sensitive to the period.
Government will always defend itself. Government will tell us they are doing palliative. The palliatives.
How many persons got the palliatives?
Palliatives in terms of interventions funds that have released. But it's unfortunate. Let us say it here so that they will hear. If you give intervention funds at this point in time, you give someone an intervention fund to be able to go back and get his business back on track, and you increase tariff in transportation and in electricity. And insecurity.
You give palliatives to farmers. You give them money to go to farm. Then the bandit takes over the farm. So what have you done?
So the whole thing here lies that is like you're pouring water into a basket because it will not definitely give us the desired result that we're expecting at the end of the month. You mentioned Ember Month and you agree with me. You don't need to ask a Susuya to tell you. The psychology behind Ember Month is the last 4 months of the year. People
everybody wants to
period. People want to go to their weddings, want to do naming ceremonies, so many things. So there's demand for goods, and the resources are very meager. So therefore there will be rush and there will be increase. So that one you don't need to say it will ever be. So December, the Ember months are months for stress.
So that's why government needs to be calculative, all right? Because businesses are now going to be affected drastically.
Of course, it is. But here in the Nigerian market, we always continue to encourage us as those of us doing businesses, and we want to say that even though the circumstance surrounding our production at this point in time is quite risky, but we must continue to give value to whatever the populace or the customers, the end users needed to get. The value for their money is what we must continue to preach here in the platform. We're quite unfortunate that there are some certain things that are beyond us, but we must continue to put them on the table to mention it out here and encourage government to do this best so that we can actually have a very friendly market circumstance situation, so that when people go to the market, they can be able to buy what they need and with their little meager salaries and income in their pockets. But if that's not done, then what we're preaching here day and night will not definitely get us the result we want. But then we will not give up. We must continue to encourage government to do its best so that the issue of this Nigeria market and Nigeria generally, the economy of our nation will continue to, grow rather than depreciating. So we give kudos to those who are actually up there, especially those who are listening, and will also continue to encourage them to make their own contributions and, write or engage our pages and make comment that will be positive so that government can use it to see how they can be able to evade some of these circumstances in future.
Yeah, that's fine. We also want to plead with government. Yes, we are citizens. We need to plead with government. We need to plead with those in authority now. Please, whoever is advising, the president, please get in touch with the society. Go to the market, price. Today you are getting them free because we know most of those things that happens in government. Most of the things you get now, the allowances that are coming, and a lot of gifts. The poor people will even, take gifts to go and still give to the man in government because they want favor from him. You see, these are illusions that make some of them feel that, oh, now those things are very good. You speak in the favor of government. You will leave government. In those days, I can't remember I can't forget in a hurry, the story we had when we were growing up that in those days of Shell, there was a man that retired, a big man retired in Shell, like in 80s or early 90s, and then his take home retirement package was 80 million. Then, yes. And then they said this man was weeping. And then a lot of persons were like, is this man okay? Somebody who was retired, and they giving 80 million. And then he felt that. So when people, ask more, and then the man began to elaborate why. You see, when he was in Shell then, or maybe when he was working, the medical bills abroad, and when the school is on vacation, the holiday with the whole family is abroad. Everything, the company was footing the bill. So he didn't know all those things. Now that he's retired, now if you want to go to abroad for medical vacation, it's from that your money, take and go. So he now understands that, oh, these things is now, the eye suddenly opens that, wow, so I don't even have those pleasures again. That's why the old man was weeping, or the man was weeping by just retiring. That's why, even for our leaders, politicians, when they see these illusions, that we have, everybody want to just die there. No, because they are not in touch with the society. Please let those who are advising, the president, let those that are advising the ministers, let those who are in authority, please get in touch with the common people. Go to the market. I think that we used to have needs assessment, before you do anything, go and take statistics. That's move of visit areas for market survey. If you want to establish any business, you want to do anything, there should be that interaction, so that when you're advising, you advise the person based on the impulse of the people, not just that no, you sit down in the comfort of your office and assume. I don't know when they go to buy corn. I don't know when last they went to buy corn.
Because of time, we may not go further, but I want to tell you that they know they have the statistics of what is happening in the society. But because they have stolen so much to eat for themselves, so they don't care. But then
they will retire.
They will retire.
So then that
experience that
that story.
That story you just mentioned. So we want to thank you for listening, all our viewers, and we'll continue to encourage us to stay put and believe that one day we'll get out of the wood. And you understand, by tomorrow we are entering ember months, and we know what ember season is. So we must not keep mute. We must continue to make effort to see how we can make ends meet. And despite the insecurity matters, we'll do our best to see that one day we'll all cry and say, oh, God has led us out of this predicament that is facing our nation. So we want to thank you for listening. We must continue to encourage you, because we know you use your data to listen and watch us. So we want to appreciate you for listening. And if you have any comments, our pages, our social handles are free. You can drop your comments where we can also share with others to see how we can move our nation, Nigeria. And that is our dream, that this country must be better than today. by the grace of God as we move ahead. So we want to thank them, and as before we leave, you always let others know COVID-19 and
yeah, the COVID-19 is real. If you just check SDC report this morning, I think we still have new cases. You know, even though it's not too much, but for the fact that it's still there, I think there was one report I got last week, you know, of former NMA president of a particular state, you know, died of associated COVID. I think even
it's not a bit
funny,
the variant.
Yes, that one kills faster, like they said. So that's why we
still
ask people to please stay safe. You know, wash your hands. But again, the protocols are very simple. At least we are in the rainy season. There's water everywhere. Please just wash your hands with little soap. Wash your hands very well. You know, keep in the public place. Use your face masks and then keep distance. You know, everybody's just rushing. But again, we are not just talking about the COVID again. As you know, we're entering in month. There's also that high tendency, speed. Everybody is in a hurry, you know, to just make it. Please, let's just, like that boy told the mother, "Mommy, calm down." So please, let's tell Nigerians, please calm down. All will be well. Calm down. All right. Thank you so much for joining us. And then let's wish them happy new month because tomorrow.
All right. So before we leave, we will always say,
buy Nigeria to grow Nigeria.
Bye.